welcome to Vibrant Living. I'm Dr. Lisa. In my practice, I try to incorporate 5 great habits of good health and well-being. One being you need a healthy nervous system and a good nerve supply in order for your body to be working properly. Another is to have plenty of rest and exercise. You need to have a good attitude, and you need to have great nutrition. So today I have found myself on 60 acres of sprawling, beautiful land here in Amherst, New Hampshire, with Ben Brewster of the Souhegan Soccer Farm. And everyone, this is Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How's it going today?
Great. It's like the best day of the summer so far.
It is absolutely gorgeous out today. We did. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the beginning of your farm here, and tell me a little bit about how you got it started and when you got it started.
Okay. Well, probably dates back to when I was in high school, when I lived on a farm in Massachusetts and somehow took over the family garden, which was not quite as expansive as this, but still a good acre. And so we did everything without even thinking about it, organically, with composted manure and just care of the soil. And so I did it for fun, just because I liked the food, I liked the salad stuff, and it was kind of a part of my summer. And then I skipped probably 30 years. Not quite. I had farms intermittently, or gardens. And probably 20 years ago, I bought this piece of land with the idea that we would do soccer and sports activities, and also as a backup, all gardening, organic gardening, and possibly farming or down the road. So probably 10 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, I started with the far side of this property and built that up, and then we added these different beds that you see around the fields. And I went to workshops with NOFA, the organic organization for New England and stuff, and just picked little bits and pieces of information here and there, and just started building up. And now we have a group of families that come here weekly to pick up food. And
yeah, explain to us a little bit about that. I understand they're called garden shareholders.
Yep.
Is that how you refer to
yeah.
them?
The
Okay.
CSA model is quite widespread now. I think it might have started in the Middle East and then came this way, of course, through California, like all those movements do.
Yes.
And now there's a local harvest which has all the national directory of all the CSAs. And in this area, you have many towns like Milford and Hollis and different places with farm gardens where people come in and are shareholders.
Okay.
And they basically buy a share, and then they participate in a little bit of the work, and they share whatever food comes from week to week. And usually it averages about 10 or 12 items each week. By the busy time, mid to end of July, you're talking 15, 16 different items that they get.
Nice.
And even into the fall, we go late into November, sometimes this year with our lake group, they'll have 8, 10, 12 different items for storage and stuff. So.
And the CSA stands for?
Community Supported Agriculture.
Okay.
It's an acronym, I guess,
Yes.
around the world. And it just basically means you buy in and you're participating, and if there's great corn, peas, beans, salad stuff, that's good. If something doesn't do well, then you don't have it. You don't get broccoli or cauliflower or kale, or unless you like
kale.
it.
Love kale.
Yeah. So
excellent.
You kind of work with the farmer, and it's not something, of course, I dreamed up, but it's worked very well and locally, and now people having local food.
Absolutely.
They don't have to go far for it, and it's right off the vine. So
exactly.
It's awesome.
It seems like we're nestled in such a peaceful area here, but yet you're so close to, a highway, and people can find you easily, and it is a little piece of heaven here. It's just stunningly beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Well, I passed the land on to a friend of mine who lives in town, Brad Knight, who I think you met earlier.
Yes.
And he and I share similar ideas in terms of the farm, the garden, and I think he's going to try to expand with the town, the sports participation and the youth activity. So
yes. So at some point you found time to squeeze in your professional soccer career. So tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. I actually had a friend who we did camps with years ago. I did camps and programs for 30 years now, maybe a few more than that. But and he had a soccer camp called the Soccer Farm, and his logo was where fine players grow. Okay. And so with this property and a chance for people to play and enjoy themselves, and kick a ball around if they want to. I've had a lot of kids over the years, girls and boys, who've worked in the garden and then done their sport for fun training. We'd work for 2 or 3 hours and then play soccer for an hour and a half and then have lunch, and they either go back to work or jump in the river and take a break. So that soccer farm, my idea is it's where fine players grow organic produce.
Yes.
So they also grow as a player,
Love it.
but hopefully as a
what a great
food grower.
way to educate them at a young age on putting good, nutritious food, organic food into their system, and appreciating how it actually grows and the effort that goes into it.
Yep. The kids I've done the most with that have really worked here consistently for a period of months, their comment usually is how careful they have to be, how thorough they have to be in terms of getting the job done. They can't just leave things unwatered or untended.
Absolutely.
They have to pick things at the right time. So the diligence they found to have to get it done, make it happen. So it's something real.
Absolutely.
So I think for kids now with programs, sports especially, but also something like this, you need something that's real, that they can get dirty, get get pushed to the limit a little bit. And in a small way, tending a garden does that. I was here till 9 o'clock last night.
Oh my goodness.
Because the geese that come in had eaten the corn a little bit, and I had to cover it. I just saw it the last minute, so I'm ready to go home, and boom, I had to spend another half hour covering that little patch out there. So
bless your heart. You have to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that the river was nearby here.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about which river it is and share me the
it's
story.
just behind this hill, and it's the bushes down at the end there. It cuts right in there. So
Okay.
it's the Souhegan River, and it's the lifeblood for all this whole farming community. A lot of people irrigate with it. I think even the country club, waters their grass with it. But
and share with me the story again about what you told me earlier about it flooding in this area here.
Property is unique, and a lot of people thought we could never play sports here or have a garden because it floods periodically. Like a typical river in a floodplain, it will flood March and April. Although, as I said to you, we had some years where in May and June it flooded after we'd planted seedlings and had a lot of stuff in the ground. We were paddling around looking at all our handiwork, and but the water goes down so fast that everything survived, and within a couple of days it's drained off of the garden areas and into these low peripheral areas. So it's pretty cool, and that natural effect, that whole Nile River effect that you read about for years, bringing nutrients into the property. The grass that you see here, we haven't fertilized or done anything to for 10 years. We've just mowed it.
It's amazing.
And it has occasional flooding and that kind of thing.
It is just gorgeous. It's just the natural cycle. Nature doing her work at her best.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that you had moved part of the garden up here a little bit higher because of that, correct?
Well, the water would come up to this level. So that would be out of, the little garden we put up there is out of floodplain, so we always have a little safety valve of some things to eat. And this area here right with us is pretty much the same. It would only flood momentarily
Now,
for a day or two.
families are able to come out here and have a birthday party or go for a walk?
Yeah, people come here and walk their dogs. They play frisbee. They come and have a picnic, sit under a tree.
Beautiful.
When Brad Knight gets approval, hopefully, for all the field activity, then they'll be able to play soccer and lacrosse and field hockey and other sports, football.
What a gift to the area.
You'd think so.
It really is. It really is.
It should be awesome. It's so private back here. It's
It
so
is
safe for the
private.
kids. And the focus is so intense. I mean, you have no traffic, no distractions.
Right. Exactly.
I've been at high schools or school fields where everything's buzzing around you, and here it's like, and totally safe away from parking. I mean, there are fields in town here where the fields are right on the street. People are coming and going, kids are running around.
Right.
You don't have accidents, but this is like, takes that all out of the equation. Yeah.
Absolutely tucked away. Just absolutely
And there's certain harmony here. It's something, who knows?
Yep.
Someone said it was an Indian site so many years ago, but there's a certain peacefulness.
It is certainly peaceful.
Kids camping out or just having a workout or just hanging out. It's a fun time. People come and jump in the river. They put their canoe in. I have one gentleman who I think maybe 87, and he drives here and leaves his bike, and then he drives up to north of Milford and west of Milford and jumps in with his boat, paddles down here, gets on his bike, rides back to his car, and then comes back for the boat.
Okay.
So, but he's my oldest contestant for,
That's great.
whatever you call that, triathlon. Or
Well, what I'd like to do is take a walk down to this area here and kind of see what's growing and
Sure.
tell us a little bit more about the soil and a little about what you have growing and what's ready right about now. Does that sound good?
Surprisingly early, yeah.
Okay,
Very
great.
good.
We'll do that. And what do you have over here?
Well, that's the greenhouse frame, which is open right now for the summer, but it's there's garlic in there, and there'll be tomatoes in there, and there's little lettuces
Yep, I see
in
that.
the front row, and then some lilies, some potatoes, and then this little side field will get like a few tomatoes and special peppers, hot peppers.
So what do we have right over here? Let's start over
potatoes.
here. These are potatoes, and when will these be ready?
Right about a month. I put
about a
them in
month?
early. I have some potatoes on the hill, and then I went around all the periphery of the beds this year with potatoes, just so they'd be a little more separate from sometimes if you have row after row after row, the bugs just go from, they hop.
just jump.
But this way they separate a little bit, so maybe a little easier for, because we're picking bugs, and I'm not using any spray, even organic spray.
Okay.
So
And so all the soil
we're
is
picking
organic?
the adults, and then we're getting the eggs, and then we're getting the larvae if we have to.
Really?
So
Where do you get your soil? How do you cultivate it to
This
qualify
soil is
for
like
organic?
unbelievable. No rocks, if you can imagine, for New Hampshire, but it's floodplain, so no rocks. Great soil, and we built it up over a period of, 12, 14 years now.
Right.
When I started this garden, I had done everything on the far side because I had a little creek there to irrigate out of. And I added this. It looked like it would be the driest, most difficult place to garden, but had a little extra elevation. I was always leery of the flooding, but see how this runs away
Yes.
that way and then runs away that way. So when we do have flood, water drains. So this opens up the quickest of any piece of land. And the same with that little dark bed over there.
Okay.
So the soil you build up, we've added a little organic compost from Ideal Compost in Peterborough. They have like unbelievable product. So a lot of these, each bed, each plant will get a little bit of material with it. So that's potatoes, and then this is broccoli. And then these little guys are onions. We'll do like 4,000, 5,000 onions.
Now these onions, this is different from what you were showing me behind us, the garlic.
Yeah,
What did
the
you call
garlic is, what you got was the scape, the little top piece.
Okay, so that's
And
called
then
the
bulb
garlic
comes
scape.
later.
And you can use the garlic scape in salads, or how would you use it?
Yeah, the scape, stir fry.
Stir fry.
Yeah, these are just a mixture of sunflowers, and they sprouted all over the garden when they recycle back. They seed themselves back. So I took the time to transplant about 100 of them. So they say you can't transplant sunflowers, but if you do it carefully and water them and get a big enough little root ball, so that's the result. Some down there you can see that cluster is natural seeding. But I didn't want to just till them under because it's a nice source. So they'll be tall, and then I put this little batch of corn, early corn, next to it because the sunflowers won't affect them in terms of creating shade.
Okay.
This little bed here, that white cloth you see out there, that rime,
Yes.
had this covered for the winter. So a lot of that lettuce wintered over through the freeze, the frost, everything, and then came out for the spring, and we've been eating it for the last 6 weeks.
Beautiful.
And then I've been adding new to it. And if you see, I just put in a row of these guys. They're the early tomatoes. I'm a little late getting them in, but we may cover them with a little warming cloth to speed them up for a month or so. But the lettuce will, be eaten, and then the tomatoes will remain. So instead of waiting for planting them later, they're overlapping.
Right.
So that we make use of the time and space. And then beside them, between that corn, I'll probably throw in some summer lettuces, which when that corn's up will be shaded half the day. Sun goes down that way in the west, so they like it a little cooler.
So you have a wonderful layout of what's going to help and protect what to help grow to its best. This is great.
A little bit. I'm a novice, but you fool around with things, overlapping and complementary things, and
Absolutely.
like that little row of the row of onions was pretty straight, and we have to cultivate that hopefully with our little tractor to save time. So we're planting, trying to get a straight row, but I think we've done it.
Very nice.
We have another 3,000 to go.
Great. Go ahead.
Yeah, these 3 beds here, you're talking about herbs and stuff. And,
Yes.
this is another project. That's some rhubarb and some rosemary and those tall ones there are sunchokes. Have you had them?
I haven't.
Jerusalem artichokes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, they're like a potato kind of, a little spicy.
Yes.
And they're a fall thing. They spread like a weed, so this has to all be weeded back. Flowers and some herbs and there's chive and there's some blueberry bushes mixed in, so it'll be a sort of a all-around berries, herbs, flowers.
Pretty much year-round.
Yeah, but that has to be. I'm starting at that end and working this way, and then those bushes over there are blueberries.
Beautiful.
The taller ones.
And when do blueberries?
They're getting berries now, but they start in about a month or 3 weeks. They're a little bit early to eat.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Just like the strawberries, everything is. The garlic is all about a month ahead.
Oh, excellent.
Because of the mild winter, so
Absolutely.
it's kind of crazy.
So we lucked out this year.
So this needs attention, but it'll get it a little bit at a time. Okay, yeah, so that bed also has young rhubarb plants in it. And I don't know if that's something you like. Or...
I actually love rhubarb. My mother had a great garden when I was growing up, and she grew a lot of rhubarb. And she would make juice out of rhubarb. Just cook it down and add a little bit of honey.
Okay.
And it was just a refreshing, very light sort of drink.
Yeah.
It was delicious. And we used to take the stalks sometimes and dip them in sugar and take a bite.
Yeah.
Delicious.
No, it's funny we're talking about that juicing and stuff
Yes,
earlier because I'll use a lot of cranberries in season for that tart. So cranberry, a little lemon, apple, pear, carrot, celery, whatever you can. But the cranberry seems to be that, it gives it that real tangy flavor. But then they go out of season.
Correct.
So I was experimenting with rhubarb to get the same effect, and it's pretty good.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not overpowering. You can get a few stalks in and then mixed in with whatever else you like.
Oh, that sounds great.
And that adds that tangy thing for the summer.
That sounds
Spring
great.
or summer when the cranberries aren't around. So
Sounds great.
You may try it.
I will.
I'll load you up.
Thank you.
everything.
And what we'll do is we'll take some of these things back to our kitchen, and we'll put some things together as well.
They can probably have a salad. I think we can do a salad with probably, even today, like probably 12 different things.
Oh, beautiful.
in it. And that's like June 1.
That's
Probably
great.
could have done like 8 things on May 1.
Awesome.
I also wintered over carrots and
Great.
some of the things like I did with the lettuce. But this bed here was, I wanted to try asparagus, so we've been taking just 3 or 4 rows of asparagus, which is so early. It's a nice thing for, I have some early bird members who started May 15th, and then they'll actually go late into November with fall crops and stuff. And, so asparagus was a key for that, and now with the strawberries starting.
Now, I have to ask you, Ben, do you have kale?
Oh yeah, tons of it.
Tons of it.
It's just growing now, but we can put a little bit in the salad.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Now that's a staple. People are getting into it.
Kale is great. We do kale chips.
Yeah.
We can juice kale. We can do a nice liver detox. We do carrots, apple, and kale, and that's a wonderful liver detox. The liver holds a lot of toxicity.
How much do you have to take? How many times? Or
well, you
just
know,
every day?
Yeah, every day would be
life?
great. Every day would be great, but if you juice a couple times a week, that's better than nothing at all. And feeding and really nourishing your body from within.
Yeah.
You know, but kale is definitely an up-and-coming thing, it seems, too, with a lot of younger families are recognizing the advantages of consuming kale.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make it, you know, different things, and kale chips are popular, especially with my little niece who's 1.5. She eats them like crazy.
And those are just what?
The kale chips are
baked?
correct, with a little bit of sea salt and olive oil in the
Okay.
oven for a short period of time, 7 to 10 minutes.
And will kids eat them instead of potato chips? Or?
Yeah, they're great. Put them in a bowl like you would popcorn or chips, and it's a great alternative, and you know, for a great snack. So maybe we'll make some of that in the kitchen sometime.
Yeah, we have
Can't go wrong.
4 kinds of kale, and it's a pretty hardy. It's hard to kill it. So once you get it established, if I let the plants get pretty bushy, then you can pick on it for 4 or 5 months. So, but you try to sneak a few early ones.
Absolutely.
Pieces.
Delish.
I had something nibbling on it. The animals don't usually eat kale. They don't know the nutrition.
They don't-
They eat broccoli. They eat corn, they eat everything. But kale's pretty good, so I don't have
Yes.
to cover it.
Very good.
So these are strawberries starting to shape up. We okay? You're just getting some
Yep.
stuff going there. A little later than that hill because the
Right.
hill is, even that extra elevation just gives it a little more kick.
Yeah, absolutely. A little more oomph.
And this is, you can see the size of the berries here.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Pretty good. Something knocked that one off.
And the flowers, so that means that the strawberries are
Oh,
going to
yeah.
pop up next,
Yeah,
correct?
they're coming.
Yep, beautiful.
This stuff,
What is behind us?
do you guys eat garlic?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm Italian. We totally eat garlic.
But see the size of this? This garlic is about a month ahead
Oh,
of, I would say about 3 or 4 weeks ahead. Mm-hmm. Those scapes that I showed you
Yes.
don't usually come until like July 1.
okay.
So that's to be about a month.
Wow,
These are a
great.
little bit behind again because of the hill, but these have really sized up, and then they'll get that bulb. Mm-hmm. And the people that I get
Beautiful.
the stock from have awesome big bulbs, and because it was a mild winter, these look like they'll be even
Nice and hardy.
better. Yeah, bigger, and these sunflowers I just let come in here.
Yes. Now,
This-
I'm sorry, excuse me. Do you have any other plants that kind of come up wherever, like tomato plants? Do you have them just kind of
They
reseed
don't.
themselves? Or?
They don't usually.
Uh-huh. Mostly right now it's the sunflowers that kind of just pop up here and there.
Yeah, potatoes.
Potatoes
It
do?
just depends if something gets left. This stuff, if you leave a few and don't pick them, they'll come up as scallions.
Okay, okay.
And those about, I think I showed you some. I'll show you those too.
Now, do you
Like
use...
these. This was a mixed bed with
Oh, yeah, there's some mixed in
strawberries
here.
and, boy, something is knocking these off. Somebody is. Wow.
So do you use compost in here as well? Do you have a compost bin or anything like that?
That big
or?
pile up on the hill, we're making our own compost.
Okay. Tell us a little
can
bit
see
about
behind
that. What do you...
It's a combination of a lot of leaves
Mm-hmm.
and any material that gets recycled here,
Mm-hmm.
and some a little bit of dirt that we collect from
Mm-hmm.
different places to mix in, and get some manure. Cow manure would be great. Horse manure is okay. Goat manure. And we're not, again, no experts, but we're just blending it in and letting it break down and turning it a little bit to aerate it, and then it heats up. But the people that I buy compost from are the pros,
Ah,
and so you pick everybody's brain a little bit
Yes.
to do it. But that way, it's $40 a yard to buy it. So if you buy $500 worth and stretch it around, it's great. But if we can make our own,
absolutely.
that'd be awesome. So that's what
Absolutely.
we're trying to do. Some animal is knocking these off. They shouldn't be laying on the ground. So I'll have to be sleeping here at night.
So how much time a day do you spend here? You're here pretty much every day? You pop over?
Every day, yeah. We live at New Hampton School. It's a little prep school up north of Concord. So I have an hour
Oh, wow.
drive to come here.
Oh, wow.
And then sometimes I'll stay in Nelson. We have a home out in the woods out in Nelson, nice private little spot. So, and then sometimes I've had either a trailer or a motorhome where I spend a couple nights here, just because it's nice to get up at 5, 6 o'clock and
Absolutely. Get
out.
into
It's
it.
so peaceful. And
Oh,
then
absolutely. Just lovely.
look at that dog.
Really is.
He likes that darn cloth. Hey, what are you doing?
Beautiful.
Anyway, I don't know if I was saying.
You're talking
These.
about the garlic.
They grow up. So
Yep.
that's what this is.
Right, right.
That's grown back. So I just left it mixed in.
Yeah,
But then you
absolutely.
pull those and you have like a garlic scallion,
Beautiful.
which has a mild taste. So, yeah, we're here pretty much every day right through. But depending on the weather, sometimes we'll come do early, like 6 to 11 if it's really hot, or I'll come later if I have soccer stuff earlier in the day. I'll come like 3, 4 o'clock and stay till like I was here after dark. Several days on those hot days last 10 days ago, whenever a heat wave hit us. So it's a little more pleasant working.
Okay.
And the irrigation is obviously better in the morning or at night. And
Absolutely.
we're just doing a temporary thing now, but Brad will have a whole system to cover all the beds and stuff. So it'll be awesome. You're asking, the soil is incredible, and
Yes.
you can't find a rock if you want to put that cloth down. You have to always use a tool or a shovel full of dirt or something. So it's great. And with the irrigation, I mean, you can grow. Could be a breadbasket. This whole valley. I mean, there's 100 acres across the river that's just perfect. There's
Right.
100 acres up at the corner of 101 that's like
Just
perfect.
beautiful.
They're all riverland.
My mother used to say with her garden, she used to say, if you're good to your land, be good to your land will be good to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's the key, really. I mean, you have to have powerful soil
Absolutely.
that grows stuff, and you find out right away if it's screwed
If
up.
it's not, and then you have
do
to
testing
work
and all
it.
that stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
have to
do
keep adding.
testing, and is that something that
yeah,
you
we've
do
done
on a
a little
regular
bit of it.
basis, or is that just
haven't
once
done
in a
that
while?
much of it. Just more by the feel of it.
Right. So
The way it-
innately, you kind of know
Yeah, kind of
how it's supposed to
a
be.
little bit. I mean, you can't rely on that totally, but I mean, you get a sense of how things are growing.
Right.
Last year, the size of the corn, the size of the tomatoes.
So what size should tomatoes be?
Well, they're all different
I know
varieties.
cherry
You get
tomatoes
the little
and grape
ones,
are
you get the
little.
Romas, you get the mid-size, you get some of the huge heirloom ones.
Right. Sometimes you see these big giant ones in the grocery store. Stay away
Yeah.
from those, right?
It just
They're
depends
just
where
too
they're
big.
from. If they're organic, or we had some that were so big you had to pick them early because they would just ripen and get a hot spot, or
Right.
you had to get them off and ripen them under cover
Okay,
because
gotcha.
the weather would get at them.
Yeah.
But no, you can have beautiful big ones.
Beautiful, big, organic ones.
Yeah, the early girls, things like that are going to come faster. Mm-hmm. Like we here, just in the field, we'll have them like first week, no, last week of July, maybe July 20. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine's growing organic greenhouse tomatoes, and he's going to start picking in about 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. So at some point we'll do greenhouse for that, but
Okay.
if we get July 2025, you go right into the freeze in October, and
There's
and
nothing
you can
like
pick them and store them.
There's nothing like a good tomato sandwich
My God,
with a little
fried
bit
tomatoes.
of cracked pepper on it.
Do you do fried tomatoes?
I have. When I was in South Carolina, I tried
Yeah,
that.
not green ones.
Not green.
No,
Fried
just
red?
reddish, or not quite all the way red, or totally red.
Okay.
You can make an incredible early quick sauce.
Oh.
I cook them right down. I slice them, fry them, olive oil.
Oh,
oil,
yeah,
salt,
saute
pepper,
them. Yeah,
paprika,
yeah, fresh
and then
sauce,
cook
for
them
sure.
down that way, or just burn them a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Cut them a little thicker and burn them either side if you like them like that, with a scrambled egg or a
Oh, sounds great.
omelet or something like that. But
We're gonna have to bring that
No.
back to the kitchen for sure.
Yeah.
Make some homemade
It's so
sauce.
quick.
It is. It's light and refreshing.
And now I have
Yeah.
one son. He's saying, well, there are tomatoes. There are tomatoes. I can't make a meal. And my other son doesn't care for tomatoes, but
Oh, okay.
but I would have them every day, quick fried.
Okay.
And I don't know if you fry them, if you still get all those.
All the antioxidants and
Yeah.
lycopene that you need to have.
Do you?
Somewhat. It depends how
Yeah.
cooked they are.
Yeah.
So more, it's
But they say even with the sauce, you have that benefit.
you do.
And people that sell ketchup, Heinz says with lycopene
Exactly.
or whatever.
Exactly.
I'm not sure about that. Anyway, there are tons of sizes, tons of colors.
Exactly.
If they're grown here or someplace fresh, then
Right.
yeah, in the supermarket you can still get some decent ones
Some
out of
decent
Vermont
ones.
greenhouses.
Now, do you sell any of what you grow here at any local
Yeah, I'm
stands?
adding
or?
more. I do a few stores and a couple schools and
Oh,
that
great.
kind of thing.
Nice.
And I'll do some people who just want to get a small amount of food from time to time. Mm-hmm. They can come in. We'll have some sort of a farm set. I'd like to do a farm day once a month or something where we have activities and rides and stuff for the kids, and people can get food and
Now-
sample stuff.
Is there also on your website, I read that you deliver to
We
homes?
do some deliveries, yep, when people need it.
Wow, wonderful.
I have people that are just too busy working
Yes.
shifts or hours or whatever, and so we'll do that, or we'll set up with another member to drop something
to
off.
bring it. That's great.
Yeah. The fun thing here, I mean, it's a little more flexible. Like some people are in a hurry; they need to come in, get their food, and go.
Right.
But a lot of people like to dig around a little bit, like to help pick. They like to work in the garden, but they don't want to feel if they go away for the summer for 3 weeks, or
Right.
you come back and it's a nightmare and you've lost
Exactly.
everything, and it's
And that's where the community comes in, where
Yep.
everyone's helping each other, and
Yep.
it's probably very therapeutic as well to be here. After a long work
and I
day.
encourage people, like I'll show them a few things they can work on to come on their own and
know
weed
what to do.
strawberries or weed garlic or pick beans,
Right.
and that way they're actually here and it's peaceful like now,
Yeah.
and they can do it. It doesn't have
It
to be a
is.
big crowd of people to
Exactly.
be part of it. But then they see if every week they come, something's a little different, a little bigger, a little more ready.
Right. Right.
and they enjoy that part without having to worry about, oh, if I don't get home to water the thing. Or,
Exactly. The pressure's off
so that
a little
helps,
bit.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of fun. And they can browse and pick. I mean, my ideal scenario is to have people know where stuff is. They can pick their own lettuce, get their beans, get peas, pull out some carrots, get some berries.
That's great.
I really just put the berries in so that kids, when they come with families, can nibble and have something to eat. And I've had different times when this corn is ready, the peas are ready, the berries are ready, potatoes are ready, carrots are ready, and kids are racing from one thing to the next. So you have to be a little calm. They're not going to destroy everything.
Exactly.
But they run around, they pick corn, eat it right off the thing. They pull up carrots and wipe them in the grass and eat them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So you get that.
Yep.
You get that sense if they want it. But I'm trying to be more cognizant of the people that have to just get here and get away to have their stuff ready if they need it. So they can request that.
Okay.
If they want to have a basket ready, they can just run. And if they want to stay or they want to come and work on their own. Or,
So there's different
sometimes we
options.
do a little group, we'll do a group planting maybe in this next week or so. Because we're a little behind getting everything in the ground.
Very
So
good.
it's a mixture.
It's a
pretty
mixture.
flexible.
This is the kale. Come on back.
This is what it went in as.
Oh, okay.
So you can see it's done pretty well.
So that's what it went in as. Yeah, it has done pretty well. How long ago was it planted?
Oh, a couple weeks.
Okay, beautiful.
Something like that.
Now you mentioned there were a few different kinds of kale, like 4 types that you grew?
Yeah, the one that's not here is that curly kale. It's a little brighter.
Okay. Beautiful
And you
leaves.
would ask me what these are, but
That's
I can't
okay.
tell you the exact names of them. But
Yeah, they look quite hardy already
yeah,
for just being put in. So that says a lot about your soil.
yeah, just a little bit of watering, and again, a little bit of compost was mixed in.
Beautiful.
I'll
Love,
skim it.
love, love the kale.
So
It's great.
anyway, so I was surprised. 'Cause, boom. So
Yeah.
in about a week, I can start sneaking a leaf here or there. I can sneak a couple of leaves from your salad.
Absolutely. I
in
appreciate
there.
that.
Yeah.
Love, love kale.
And we'll
Thank
do
you.
garlic for it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Those are more
And-
potatoes, again, going around the periphery. Spread out. I'm going to do tomatoes the same way. I'll put some tomatoes in each bed. I just put that first bunch in there, and there'll be all of these beds will get tomatoes, and then all of those gardens will get tomatoes. And then out there where that dirt is,
Yep.
that runs all the way down to those trees.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I see it going
So
all the way
that'll
down.
be long rows with plastic and
Of tomatoes.
everything.
Of everything.
Yeah, it'll be corn, squashes,
Wow.
all the fall products, beets, carrots,
You grow pumpkins, too?
pumpkins, a lot of pumpkins.
The kids
Yeah.
love those.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, we have a lot of fun with them. It always seems hard to use it up. You never, cooking-wise.
Exactly.
You never,
You carve them and...
you look at the recipe, it says like
pumpkin
cup of
soup.
pumpkin.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, right.
It's like a pie. So
A pie or a
You have
soup.
a whole pumpkin then.
We'll be back in the fall then.
Oh, good. You better be back next week for food.
I totally am.
pickup.
I will be here. This is awesome.
These are lettuces that seeded themselves.
Okay. Oh,
From,
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
It just popped right up. What a
And
blessing.
this got compost in it, but a little too much, so I've got to skim that and then blend it a little better.
So you can have too much compost?
You have probably 6 or 8 inches of soil that's really viable, even for this grass. And so if you put on a little too much compost, then you're getting a little too rich, I think. You're getting 3 or 4 inches of compost and only like 3 inches of the soil when you mix. So if you put about an inch, whoever put it down for me put a little heavy, but if you put about an inch, it'd be awesome. And that blends in.
Gotcha.
So you end up with dirt,
Right.
although that compost is in there.
Right, right.
I don't want to see quite so much.
And is that asparagus popping up over here?
Yeah, I've got to get a couple pieces of that for you. The lettuce I was talking about that we got was so full and so big that if you put it in the ground, they die back and then start again. So I just clipped all the leaves. We made unbelievable salads right from the greenhouse.
That's
we have
great.
organic supplier. So they went into the ground about like that, all cut back. But within 4 days, 5 days,
Couple days, it just
they're like,
full again.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's unbelievable. And you can obviously take the whole heads for the iceberg, but
Right.
this loose leaf lettuce, all of this lettuce here, all wintered over. And what I found with the carrots when they wintered over, they didn't grow anymore in the spring. You had to, like, whatever you had in the ground in the fall, you were going to eat in the spring.
Okay.
So we had small ones, finger size.
Okay.
But they've been great. I'll give you a few. But the lettuce did regenerate. It kept growing, so I've been cutting that back and just serving it for mixed lettuce.
Oh, beautiful.
So now next year I know I can grow, boom, those late carrots, get them bigger. Now for April and May we'll have like parsnips, good-sized carrots right out of the ground fresh.
Wow.
When it takes normally 8 weeks, you know, to grow them. And these tomatoes, I don't know if you can see them, but I just threw them in. We'll keep adding rows here in the next couple of days. But the lettuce will be eaten and tomatoes will stay.
Beautiful.
And so you have that overlap.
That is just gorgeous.
He hopefully doesn't kill too much of the corn.
Of the corn. Just hanging
he
out.
gets around. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this broccoli, this cauliflower, this cabbage, this all these. This row over here is all mixed greens, Asian greens.
Oh, yeah. Swiss chard.
Arugula.
Okay.
Chard is at a different place and it's still little, but
Okay.
that's just starting.
So what kind of cabbages do you grow?
There's an early green cabbage and then there's a late red
Okay.
that I do.
Oh,
too.
great. Because I can do a really great stuffed cabbage, paleo style, but instead of using rice inside, you saute and steam up some cauliflower and mash it up, put it in. It's so light and delicious. We'll have to make that too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So.
I'm starting to get hungry.
I know, me too.
How can you do
Me
a show
too.
talking about
I'm so
food, like,
excited about food. I love
who's
food.
that lady?
It's
yeah.
so much fun.
All those shows on TV.
Yeah.
The expert gardener, right? And a guy came in a few years ago, and everything was just overgrown because big and a little weedy. And he said, "Do you have cauliflower?" I said, "God, I don't think I ever grow cauliflower because I never liked it." And so we're walking around Livermore, and he said, "Geez, that looks like cauliflower." So sure enough, under all the growth, there's beautiful cauliflowers. So yeah, because they look like broccoli when you get the little seedlings.
Right, right.
And so sure and behold, the expert
that it turns,
had cauliflower.
It turns into cauliflower. Okay. Well, Ben, I want to say thank you so very much for having us here today to the Souhegan Soccer Farm. I wanted you to share with everyone your website. Tell them where they can get some more information.
Sure, it's bbsoccer.com.
Awesome.
And email ben@bbsoccer.com.
Excellent.
To reach me. But on the website, it's basic like everybody. You have some photos, some information, some registration information, and all of that. And the biggest thing is we've done well, I think, with the flexibility, I think, with kids can come in, they can bang around, they can walk by the river, they can kick a ball, they can, little kids like 6, 8, 10, 12, or even the 3-year-olds. So hopefully for a family like that people can enjoy it. And then all different ages, people are walking their dogs or doing their training, walking around the field, or we have some people actually train the dogs that come in. Brad lets them come in and do that stuff. So it makes a good atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I think it's kind of fun. It's more than a just going to a
field,
farm stand, or to
Absolutely.
a parking lot, or to a showroom to pick up your food. You can actually hang out and enjoy the land. And the thing is, sometimes people are so busy they don't have time for it, and that's fine too.
Right. So they can watch the show and be part of it.
The ones that come here and actually work and do a few things and work independently, like we were talking about, I think they enjoy the peacefulness and the ambience.
Absolutely.
So that's all part of it. But it's a lot of work.
It is.
I speak for all the CSA people. I mean, it's just a lot of work getting everything on time and having the right food at the right time and keeping it fresh. And so, like you said, do we have stores or other people that use the food? And thankfully, yes, because like in 2 weeks there's going to be hundreds of buckets of tomatoes that have to be used.
Right.
And then, so the next ones can grow in, and then, so they just don't go to waste. So that's where all the other people come in. But we're hoping to do more with extra food for groups that need food, rather than going to like food bank to get canned food. I think for some months, places like this could help provide food to groups that have families that need food. And they also could eat along the lines that you're talking.
Right, exactly.
Rather than the other way. So.
Well, we thank you so much for incorporating farming and basically family recreation on your property here.
I guess that's
so
what you call
it's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining us. And this is your life. Live a vibrant life. Have a great day.